Hello again. Let's do more business news. Deputy Aviation Minister, Minister for Finance, Kweku Kwarteng, says his ministry will be moving to address taxes on aircraft spare parts. This comes on the back of recent announcements by government of slashing duties on general goods by 50% and also on vehicles by 30%. Addressing stakeholders meeting at the third aviation breakfast meeting in Accra, Deputy Minister for Finance, Kweku Kwarteng, said beside the taxes on spare parts, they will also adjust various taxes concerning the industry.
Airlines have over the years lamented on the high duties charged on imported spare parts for aircraft. Airline operators say the charges have been pegged at 40%. But touching on the issue, Deputy Minister for Finance Kweku Kwarteng said his outfit will be looking at reducing these charges.
Import duty on parts that you bring in is part of the concerns you have. It will form part of the engagements we're going to have. But we would just also like to remind ourselves that just the beginning of this year, government has announced intervention at the ports to ensure that import duties and general payments at the ports go down. But as I indicated, all these will have to be had in closer discussions to see what residual issues remain to be dealt with.
He was speaking at the third aviation breakfast meeting, which brought together stakeholders in the aviation industry to deliberate on ways to develop the industry. The Minister for Aviation, Kofi Adda, therefore urged the airlines to be forthcoming with data on taxes charged to help with negotiations.
Nothing has come from them. They only complain when you ask them to do any analysis and make proposals to us so that we can justify things when we present to the Minister of Finance. They don't bring anything. We try to set up committees for them to be part of, they don't come. So I don't think the onus is on us. It's on the airlines and the operators. They should be able to come to us with some concrete things on what it is that we need to do to support them, to help them, to make sure they're able to operate more profitably or more efficiently in a manner that would enable them to be able to expand their businesses. We are more than happy to champion their cause if there's any justification. We're more than happy to go and argue the case before the Minister of Finance. But you just can't walk to the Minister of Finance without any justification, without any basis. And we need the data from them as to how adversely it impacts on their operation. But that they're not forthcoming. I think perhaps we need to engage them in a different approach.
The theme for this year's breakfast meeting was building synergy for sustainable growth in aviation. For Joy Business, Sheila Tamaklo.
Now, Africa's biggest online retail market, Jumia, has listed on the New York Stock Exchange. This is big news for the e-commerce industry in Africa. But here in Ghana, what are the prospects and what will it take to drive the e-commerce industry? Albert Biga is the CEO of online retail shop, Zuba Shop, and he has been sharing some thoughts on the industry.
Today, we're talking of some 400 million smartphone users or people who have access to the internet on the continent. This is expected to double by 2022 to over a billion people. The prospects are huge. Some of the other factors that we believe will account for the growth will be: one, the continent is growing averagely at about 6 to 7%, in sharp contrast to about 2 to 3% in the mature markets. Today on the continent, only under 1% of retail actually happens online. And the fact that the continent and the industry is growing in double digits will definitely drive it. Internet penetration is definitely one of the things that would help leap it. Payment gateways, obviously mobile money and all the other payment gateways that have been talked about, and the integrations that are happening will also be a key driver. And then generally technology adoption, smartphone adoption is growing phenomenally across the continent. So to bring it here to Ghana, again, it's similar. We've come from the late 2000s, late 1999s, early 2000s, where we had a few 100,000 phone lines, to where now we're talking in excess of about 20-something million, even in this country. Access rates are dropping, which is a good thing. It's getting more reliable. Access rates are dropping. The most important thing is that the fact that as e-commerce companies, we have much lower costs means that we can pass these on to the customers. And in a price-sensitive market like Ghana and as Africa as a whole, we expect this to drive e-commerce.
Now, you mentioned a number of factors that would drive this growth, and we know that this government recently has been heavy on this whole digitization conversation. Is that to say that it's going to play a critical role in, driving this industry forward?
Well, yes, of course. I mean, a key part of e-commerce is delivering to the shopper. And so, yes, if we're able to find addresses easier, if dispatch is able to move around easier, we're able to plan our routes better, then of course it means that that will facilitate e-commerce. But look, to be honest, as we were talking offline, I did mention that in my opinion, I don't think that delivery or the challenges with delivery thereof is actually the biggest challenge for e-commerce companies. There are much bigger challenges. Can you,
outline some of these bigger challenges for us?
Well, the first one is that you need investors that understand the industry. You have our competitor, Jumia, that has listed on the New York Best when they've racked up $1 billion in losses, when in their prospectus they say that they don't expect to make profits or pay dividends in any foreseeable future, but you still have people who've bought into it because they understand the industry. They understand that what they're investing in is the future cash flow and the prospects of the continent. So we need investors that understand the industry and are willing to put their money in the space. That's challenge number one. Challenge number two would be HR. It's a big problem across the continent. I mean, and I don't think it's even peculiar to us as an e-commerce company. It's, in fact, in the order, I probably would have put HR before financing, except, of course, if you have the right amount of money, you can attract almost anybody from anywhere in the world. But it's a big challenge for us to find the required skills to keep our platforms and our systems running. That's a huge, huge challenge. And unless we start seeing major shifts in the kinds of educational systems we have around the continent, that will continue to remain a huge challenge. Now, if we're able to fix this challenge, really, there's nothing that sets us apart from an Amazon or an Alibaba. Really, our limits are completely boundless. So.
Now, crude oil sold at $71.34 a barrel by midday today. Gold, on the other hand, went for $1,274.10 an ounce. Let's head to the commodity markets now.